Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right, as soon as we get some viewers on here, I want to welcome you to Dialogue with the Doctor. It is your girl, Dr. Audra, and me and my bestie are coming back to you another week with a little bit more chit chat. So I'm excited on tonight. So if you're live with us tonight, hit us up in the inbox at chat box. If you're on Instagram, we just went live on the Instagram. We on the gram. We on the gram, right? I've never been on the gram, so hello Instagram. God bless you on tonight. And so we definitely welcome all of our followers, all of those that follow Dialogue with the Doctor. It is the holidays, and we are winding down the year. And so, as I said before in previous shows, I am so excited to have my girl with me all month long, talking about just dialoguing about tips and what I feel is very important to us as women in this world, right? And so we talk a lot about stuff, and I was like, friend, we need to go live and just kind of bring the world into our conversation because we have some deep conversations and we definitely drop a lot of nuggets when we're talking to each other. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring to you the coach, Keisha.
Hey, friend.
Hey, so it is definitely the holidays. I felt like we should have probably had on like some Christmas ugly
That's
sweaters.
why I have on red. I have on red and gold.
Oh, I didn't get the memo. That's okay, but
And red.
maybe that is very pretty though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you drinking out of tonight?
Ooh, I
You see
have to
that
go get my
says
cup. I forgot my
be
cup. Somebody bring me my cup. I was too busy.
unprepared.
I was too busy
Unprepared.
taking pictures, actually. I thought I looked very cute, so sorry.
So
Ooh,
my cup viewers, it says be brave, be bold.
people,
And it
come
has
on.
actually that's a leopard, Lord. That's a my pastor
Okay.
bought me this cup. So I absolutely love this cup. Um and so it is
Boom.
holiday. That is that who I think it
Winnie
is?
the Pooh.
Only you would come on here with it. That is so encouraging. How I need you to prophetically tell me how Winnie the Pooh is encouraging.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh.
You got honey,
He
milk
got
and
honey.
honey. You know?
He got honey because I'm honey.
Oh
Dripping
no,
honey.
I said milk and honey. Here you come with this. I'm
Oh,
honey.
oh,
Chat.
I'm honey. Honey.
So, friend, I am
Yes,
excited tonight. We
me
are
too.
on week number 3.
Week
Just to,
number 3. These weeks is like
they coming fast, right?
they coming real fast. Like,
Well, can I say that it's been so much fun hanging with you these 3
yes,
weeks?
it has. We know how to have a good time.
But I was thinking about this when I was in the bathroom, trying to get this new hair together. I said, it says something as a woman to be able to say, "Hey, friend, I don't mind, I'll hook up with you on your show and try to
Mhm.
help you, keep your show going." Because most people will see what you're doing and they'll feel like, "Hey, whatever, I can do that better." Instead of supporting another person's dream or another person's vision, we tend to go do something. And so then you look and you see 17,000 shows, which is fine, right? Because
Right.
there's an audience for everybody, but it is definitely a big deal for me for you to take your time out of your day and you don't play with your time
I would say that is no, that is not the season for that for me. No.
to commit to be with me for 4. I love you, friend.
I love you, too, friend.
Right. So anytime you need me to come on your show, hey, just hit me up. I'm coming because she does have a show, guys, and we'll talk about that. Let me make sure I'm sharing because I have not shared the video. I have not
Let me
shared.
see. Let me see
Here.
here. I think I just shared it. I have to share it to some other stuff.
I haven't
Let me
shared
tag
it. What's
some
happening?
people.
It's not shared yet. I need to share the video. First, I gotta find it. Then I gotta share it. Because I think that what we have to talk about tonight is going to be absolutely amazing. Not
Yes.
that everything we talk about is not absolutely amazing, right? But I think that tonight is going to be good. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to inbox some people. I'm going to reach out, do things.
I'm gonna tag some folk.
Let's get some people on here tonight,
I'm gonna
right?
tag some folk.
Yeah, tag some people. Let's get some people on here tonight because what am I saying? I will say I've seen your wonderful friends on here every week. God bless y'all. Love y'all.
It's a blessing to have people that really like love you and support you for real, for real.
I know it is. But then I thought about it. I ain't seen none of my friends.
They watch the replay, friend. Replay. They busy.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
They're busy right now, but they're gonna watch the replay.
They're gonna watch the replay.
They're gonna watch the replay and
Well,
get these nuggets.
I am very confident that they're going to watch the replay, but I'm going to do something a little different tonight. I'm going to send it out to everybody. How about that?
Send it out.
How about that? Because, Lord, I'm sending it to everybody. I hate, this new thing now where they go at viewers. Oh my God, people hate that, but I think it's
People
pretty
hate
dope.
it. They don't like it.
I think it's dope because here's my thought, and we're gonna go into what I'm talking about.
What's your thought?
My thought is if we're following each other, we should be supporting each other. I don't
That
mind
is
when
true.
people highlight me or add viewers because I'm
Right. If I eat that old saying, eat the meat, spit out the bones. If I want to join it, I join it. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
Period.
And if I can, I'm gonna support it because why are we friends if I can't?
Right.
So I'm trying to
If it's for
evaluate
me,
that.
it's for me. If it's not, it's not. No, no sweat. Just a notification. That's it.
So
It's
when I
not.
see people saying that they're removing it and all that, I'm like, now I haven't added everybody yet, but why not?
Mm.
Play with it. I love it. I love the feature. So anyhow, so we've been talking for the past 2 weeks. Two weeks.
Yes.
This week's week
Yes.
number
The
3.
third week.
Third week with
Mm-hmm.
Coach Keisha, the deliverance coach.
Ooh.
First week we talked about boundaries.
Boundaries.
You hit some real good
Yes.
points that week.
We did. We did.
We talked
Boundaries
about
are necessary. They are so necessary because remember, broken boundaries create broken hearts.
I was trying to say, I was like, you better remember that too. Broken
Right? If our boundaries are broken, our hearts will eventually be broken as well. Because if they can break your boundaries, they're going to break them.
And then we talked about
they're going to break them.
if you let them.
If
And then
you
we
let
talked
them.
about the fear why people don't put
Right.
boundaries up, right? Because of fear of losing people, fear
Mhm.
of rejection, fear of not fitting in.
But is it really worth the hold on to someone that doesn't respect your boundaries though? Is it worth it, right? Because it's really not like worth it.
Not me, friend.
Right. Because how it's going to work if they don't respect your boundaries, they don't respect you. So how are you going to be in a relationship with someone that does not respect you? Eventually it's going to go left.
That's why it goes back to what we said first. Because if you respect you, then you respect your time and your peace. And you will have some boundaries.
Definitely that peace. It's the peace for me.
And your standards.
Yes.
Well, we said you don't protect your peace, you possess your peace, but
right.
possessing it means that I have to maintain it. And so that was good. And then last week we talked about healing.
Yes.
Healing is a highway. Healing is a process. Be healed, girl. Be
Healing
healed.
hurts.
Healing. That's what you
Healing
said. Healing
hurts
hurts.
because you got to
So,
face some stuff, and it hurts to face some stuff. It really does. It really hurts to, and you got to accept some stuff. Like, I think that's even with me during this season of my life, accepting some things for what they are and not what I want them to be. That has
mhm,
been the hardest thing um in this season for me.
mhm.
Accepting, not seeing it for what it could be, but seeing it for what it is, and accepting that that is what it is. And that hurts, you know? And so healing hurts, you know, because acceptance hurts, because there are some things that you have to accept that this is how it is. And you have a decision to either uh deal with it or not deal with it.
And
Period.
you'll walk
Like,
away.
yeah, so it's like when you really open your eyes and see situations for what they are, see people for who they are, and you say, okay, yeah, this ain't.
But I like what you said though. Acceptance is two-sided, right? One, I have to accept that someone that I love is doing me wrong.
Come on,
Two, I have to accept that I allowed it.
come on. And I have to accept, I have to be accountable for what I allow. I have to, and then with with that, I still have to love you. I
That's
can't, I
good.
can't, I
That's
can't walk
good.
away. I can't walk away bitter.
Right.
I can't walk away. I can't walk away bitter or broken.
No, not at
I
all.
can't let your lack of love break me, because it's not a reflection of who I am, you know? And I think so many times when we are connected to
Come on,
individuals,
Tashika. Tashika's in the house.
come
Yeah,
on.
that's who did my hair, y'all. She said
Tashika,
she
you did a
retired.
wonderful job, love.
She said she retired, but I just need y'all to know.
That don't look like a retired.
No,
Well, let me be quiet, because
she said she retired, but man, listen.
let me be quiet, because I be retiring from stuff all the time.
All you do hair too, Lord.
Listen, I'll
But
be retiring.
but I love that. And so there's a level of acceptance that has to come with healing, because like you say, healing hurts. It hurts, but once you get past that hurt, it's a
Woo,
beautiful thing. She's talking about
woo.
I'm very retired. It's once you get over that hurt, like we said, if you break a bone, the doctor's recommendation is that you walk on it. You have to, and this is good, friend. If you don't put pressure on it, how do you know that it's healed?
Come on, come on,
Jesus.
come on. Yes,
Thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. You, if you don't put pressure on it, you don't know that it's healed.
you don't know. You don't know. So
So
you have to.
healing is the process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. I wanted to define healing because tonight we're talking about freedom. And I
Mhm.
wanted our viewers to understand that there's a difference between healing and freedom. You could be healed and still not be free.
Come on, talk.
You could be free and still not be healed. And we talked about that, the dream I had years ago with the people in the prison and the doors were open. But there are people that have the ability to walk out of stuff, but because they cannot,
Accept it.
it's mm,
Accept
or
it.
they're so bound,
They're so used to being bound.
used to being bound. That's why they say you can
They're
take a
okay
person
with
out of
being
the
bound.
projects, but you can't take the projects out of the person.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
beg to differ.
yeah.
Because he says to be ye transformed by the what? Renewing of your mind. And that's why we talked about the other week where we said, hey, hey. That's my girl Talia. Love you. And we talked about that when you could become free in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I ain't gonna go too fast. I ain't gonna go too fast. I'm gonna slow
Okay.
down, slow down, slow down, slow
Okay.
down, slow down,
Slow down for your record now.
slow down, slow down. So, okay, so healing is necessary, right?
Necessary.
It is
Yes.
necessary for our growth. It is necessary for us to be and become who God has called us to be. And so,
Mm-hmm.
if you did not see those shows, go watch the replay. All of my
Yes.
ghost viewers that view afterwards, we still love you because the numbers still come in later. But just when you're watching the replay, let me know. But I don't know who's on here. See, this is what I don't know. I can't see where Instagram people at. Happy holidays, sweetheart. Anyway, I'm new to Instagram, so y'all pray for me. Ooh, I'm so excited that we on Instagram. Anyway, so let's dive right into it. So freedom, the state
Mm-hmm.
of being physically unrestricted and
Unrestricted.
able to move easily,
Mm-hmm.
or to think as as one wants without hindrance or restraint. Another version says society does not determine your worth. No, that was something else I wrote. Let
I can't.
me sip some tea. I'm going to bed. So to have a free mind, to think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. There's no restraints. Instagram just tap the viewers and it tells you every. Oh, okay, thank you. Come on, school me, school me.
We don't know.
We'll know, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna
We'll
find
find
out.
out tonight.
And so when you hear someone say, "Sis, be free," you don't connect that with healing. I want you to explain to our viewers tonight the difference between being healed and being free.
Well, you know me. I healing and freedom. That's all spiritual to me. Everything that I base my life on, I base it on scripture. I base it on principles of God. I base it on the word of God. And so the Bible tells us, Jesus tells us in the Bible that who the Son sets free is free indeed. So what we fail to realize is that we've already been set free over 2,000 years ago when he died on the cross for us. We were free then. And so what we don't understand is that we have to enforce that freedom. It's just like if someone gets an inheritance, right? If it's never claimed, you can never have it. And so we have to claim that inheritance. We have to enforce that inheritance of freedom. And so because we don't know our rights, because we don't know who we are, because we don't know who God is, we find ourselves in these mental prison cells. We
Whoa.
find ourselves in bondage to things that we have authority over.
Let me sip some tea. Although it ain't
Listen,
no tea here, but we'll sip it.
listen, listen. And so the things that we're supposed to be walking and treading over, we're held hostage to it, but we're already free. And so I think freedom is just enforcing what's already been done on the cross for you,
My God.
enforcing your inheritance. Freedom is my inheritance. Healing is the children's bread,
Come
right? And
on. That's the
I got a
word.
good daddy. I can walk in healing and I can walk in freedom.
That's good.
And so I feel as being free, you when you're free. Like there's no heavy burden to be anything else but who you are authentically. You can live authentically in who you are. And so people have
Without
their
restraint.
say it again, friend.
Without restraint or
Without
hindrance.
restraint, I can be who I need to be. I can be who God designed me to be. I don't have to see another person and try to be like them. That's true freedom to me, that I can be authentically me. I can be Nakisha. I can be who God made me to be. And I don't have to hide behind a title. I don't have to hide behind a degree. I don't have to hide behind what I accomplish, right? Because I love me. I love my personality. I love my body. I love my mind. I love everything about me. And so I feel like that is freedom, loving you and being
Wow.
able to walk in who you are authentically and not looking for validation outside of yourself.
That's good. That's good. And so when a person, and I guess I'll say this in the way when I said about how you could be free but not totally healed. And you'll know that because as you begin to, like you say, walk in your freedom, when you're faced with certain issues or certain situations or circumstances, then your healing speaks very loud. It tells us if you're healed or if you're not healed. And
Right.
so being free and being healed is definitely two different things. And so I love what you said. You love who you are, but there was a process to get to that place.
Yes, it was, because I didn't always love who I was.
That's
I didn't
good.
always know who I was. And it's just like the children of Israel, they were free, but they were not healed mentally. Mentally, they were not healed from slavery. They were not healed from their taskmasters. They were free from them, but they were not healed from them
That's
because they
good.
still had the mentality of a slave. And
Mhm.
that's the problem. A lot of us still have a mentality of a slave. We're free, but because we have not adjusted to that, we have not believed that in our mind, we're still
Bound
bound.
to it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's so true. Oh, that's so good. Oh, yes, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord.
My
That's good.
mind got to be healed.
So, in totality, we should seek not only healing, not only boundaries, but we definitely need to make sure that we understand that we have our freedom. Our freedom was bought on the cross for us over
2,000 years ago, honey.
2,000 years ago. And so we know that he came to settle the cost for
Come
us.
on.
And
He
since
became a ransom.
settled a ransom, yeah. And the Bible says that it is forever settled in the heavens. And so understanding that, right? Because we throwing out scriptures and everybody may not know what we're talking about on here. And so my first point tonight, and this is not a 4 points in the close, but our first point that we want to definitely embark upon is being free from sin,
Being
right?
free from
Because
sin.
we cannot ever think that we could be free from anything else until we are free from sin. Now, does that mean that you need to be perfect? That's not what Dr. is saying. But the Bible says that if we confess with our mouth and believe in our hearts that we are saved, right? Then he fills us with the Spirit of God so that we can then now walk worthy.
Come on.
And then he empowers us through the
Empowers
Holy
us.
Spirit to
Right.
be able to live a life free of sin. And
Yes.
so that is to me the foundation. I can
Yes.
tell when people have not surrendered their life totally to God. And I'm not just talking about your lip service.
Right.
So you
Because I
agree
can
that's
say
the
anything.
foundation. Go ahead, friend. Elaborate.
I could say anything. The Bible says that whatever we can't, we become a slave to it. Right. And so when you feel like you can't live without
Ooh.
something, you become a slave to that thing. And I don't want to be a slave to anything. Paul said, I don't want to come under the power of anything but the power of God. And so I always revert back to scripture because the word is what changed me. The word is what washed me. The word is why I can walk confidently in who I am. The word is why, because it told me who I was and it told me who I wasn't.
You got your identity in
I
the word.
found my identity. And so, I mean, come on, like I could write a book. You know what I
You
mean?
did. You did. You wrote too. We're
I
gonna
could
talk
write a
about
book
that too. You did right.
about the insecurities
Mhm.
and not knowing who you are. That bondage is like no other bondage. When you're constantly trying to figure out, why am I here? What was the purpose of you bringing me here? Because for a long time, I felt I was here as a curse. I felt like I was a curse. I felt like I was just here to be tortured or something, because there was so many disappointments and so much pain and so many things that I had to go through. And I was like, just if I'm a curse, just say that, you know? And
Wow.
so being in this place that I'm in now, it could have only been God, because there was a time when I was half crazy. For real, for real. You know, people see you and they think you all that, but you don't know I'm a ticking time bomb.
You're looking at the end results of a savior. The,
Listen,
the end results, the end
listen.
results of salvation, the end results of a surrendered life.
Surrendered life. And I remember there was a time when people, why you always in church? Why? If I don't go to church, I'm gonna be in jail on in the graveyard. I'm serious.
Yeah, because people don't understand. When you say you need God, I
I
need.
need God. I need like I need him real bad. Like a fix. I need him. And so, you know, I think being free comes from being rooted in God, being rooted in
Absolutely.
Christ, being rooted in the word. That's where true freedom comes from. And until you get into that place, how can you really find true freedom?
That's true. And then
How?
and then like you said, there's a discovery that comes in the word. And I talked about this on Sunday. Ignorance is dangerous. When you are
Mm,
ignorant of anything, it is a setup for a fail. It is dangerous because you don't know. And when we don't have our identity, we don't know who we are, we look to other people to define us.
exactly.
And then
Exactly.
when we don't measure up to the standards which they've defined us, and then
Exactly.
now we feel like failures. When in
Right.
actuality, that wasn't what God called you to do anyways.
Exactly.
And
And
that's not
another
who you
thing,
are.
that's not who you are. And another thing that I never understood was how we find so much validation and we're looking for this perfect body or this perfect face. And we've never seen perfection. Like, who told us your nose is supposed to look like this, or your body's supposed to look like this, or your hair is supposed to be like this? We've never, I mean, the Bible never describes a physical body as perfection or a physical face as perfection. So, where did we get these ideologies that my body has to be shaped like this, or my face has to look like this, or my nose has to look like this? And this is why when people begin to get into cosmetic surgery, they say it's addictive because you're always striving to find this perfection that you're never going to find because we've never saw an image of perfection.
Mm.
Never
You
saw it.
already, yeah, you know you fast forward to number 4, but I'm gonna come back.
Okay. Let's go back. Ooh, let's
But
reverse.
that's a good point. When you know who you are. Now, I had, and this is where I to get funny because this is what we do. We have fun. I have had to accept that God desired for me to be SpongeBob SquarePants. Right? It was not. I put that cup. I have to accept that.
You know what? I can't. Friend, you can do squats.
It ain't gonna help. I don't care what I do. It ain't gonna help. But you over time. Now I think understanding that God created us, right? Everything He created good. So everything about me, my nose, my big old eyes, and those things that again may not line up to what society considers to be good, you can build a confidence in knowing that this is who God created. I think sometimes, and now I'm not, listen, guys, I'm not against surgery. If you want to do it, do what you need to do. But I do think sometimes in my mind, because I embarked upon things myself, isn't it an insult to God for us to keep saying we don't like who we are?
I think so. I think so.
Isn't it an insult to God for us to keep acknowledging our imperfections when you did not put them eyeballs in your head?
At all. You know, the Bible calls it vanity, you know? It's all vanity. It's vanity.
It's
Vanity.
vanity, but too also people are trying to accept who they are
You are, yeah.
by
Because some
trying
people
to
just
change.
don't like who they are and how they look.
Now
And I
I ain't gonna.
think,
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say something, but I ain't gonna say it because that would have been bad.
Don't say that bad, friend.
I know. Keep me accountable. Woo. I mean, okay, let's move on.
Okay.
So we don't want to get to that part yet. So definitely, we have to definitely the foundation is freedom from sin.
Freedom
How
from
do we
sin.
do that? We give our life to Christ.
We live our
We
life to Christ.
define ourselves in Him. We find our identity in Christ. And that creates a freedom, right?
Oh, yes.
A liberty
A liberty.
that comes with that. Secondly, freedom from your past.
Come on, pass. Freedom from listen. There are so many people that are living in their past. They have so many regrets. They have so much unforgiveness from what had happened. Um they're unable to accept what happened. Um and so you have to come to terms with what happened and accept it. Like that happened, you know? And release it. Like that happened. There are things in my life that I just had to really sit with and say, "Hey, that happened." You know? And accept it for what it was and give it to God, you know? Because I mean, you still here, right? It didn't take you out. You're still here. And whatever you're facing, I just feel like I could go on and on about everything that has happened to me and every who wronged me and all of this other type of stuff. But
Girl, we'll have about 500 viewers because people like tea. You talk about, let me
but
stop
it
saying.
profits me nothing.
Mm-mm.
Like there are certain things I remember I was having a conversation with someone and it was like, why don't you just tell me? And I'm like, because it don't even matter. I'm healed from it. So why talk about it? I'm over it.
Well, you
Like
know, they'll use it. Well, we set free by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our
like
testimony.
I'm
I
I'm
done
free from it.
testified.
I accepted it, I dealt with it, I forgave. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I don't feel like it matters.
I think for me, freedom from my past, one, I had to forgive myself.
Mm-hmm.
I had to forgive myself for decisions that I did make,
Yeah.
choices I made, things that I did that I should not have done. I had to literally forgive myself. Girl, you
Yeah.
was young, you didn't know any better, you did not.
Yeah.
So after forgiving myself, then I had to forgive those people that I feel like hurt me.
Right.
Forgiveness is very, very key to freedom.
Yeah.
Sometimes that apology that you need to release is not for the other person,
For
it's for
you.
you
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that you can be released. Some of
Mm-hmm.
us are, and we talk about this too, we'll talk about it more when we get to the last show with deliverance, that a lot of times we're holding on to stuff and it's causing ailments in our bodies.
Yeah. Sickness. Yeah. Yeah.
And so forgiveness is very key to freedom because
Yes, it
once
is.
I can totally forgive you, I can release you.
That's it. That's it. And I don't know why people have this thing where they feel like if they don't forgive, that they're affecting the other person. You're really affecting your own self, your own growth, you know, your own um destiny and purpose, you know, because like how can I stay mad? Because that affects me. Like I can't have a good time angry. I can't have a good time mad and upset and bitter and you know what I mean? So I just don't, and there's some things I could be mad about. Hear me
Of
wait.
course.
There
We
are so many
we could
things that
write a book.
I could write a book about the things that I could be mad about. But at the end of the day, it's only going to affect me. It's only going to keep me in bondage to it. And so, how am I going to enjoy my family? How am I going to enjoy my life? How am I going to enjoy, you know, the people that God has put? I think we put so much uh attention and give so much attention to people who have hurt us. We don't pay attention to the people who have loved us.
That's good. Whoa, that's good.
like
Oh, that's
like
good. That's
acknowledge
good.
the ones who do love you, acknowledge the ones that did stay, acknowledge the ones that did pour into you, acknowledge the ones that didn't do you wrong, that didn't betray you. And I'm not saying that we don't go through uh the process of healing and talking and releasing these things, but there's a time to do that, and it's a time to say, okay, that season is over, I'm done with that.
And that's good, friend, because I think sometimes we are held so bound to not forgiving people. And I've been there. Lord, I've been there. You know, where you feel like you can't function. You feel like you can't even be, there's some people that can't forgive people that are not even here anymore.
Them people
They're not
dead and
even
gone.
here. And you're held bound to something that you can't even fix. You're wasting your time, your energy, your focus moving forward for things that you can't even fix. I can't go back and change anything that I've faced in my life. I can't change it. I can't rewrite the book. I can't rewrite my life for the past 49 years. But what I can do is ensure that as I move forward, I move forward free from what held me bound by relationships, by whatever it was, that it will not now affect my future, and
Yeah.
use every stumbling block as an ability to make sure that I don't fall, I don't go that way again.
Come on. Come on.
And so if
Because
we don't totally forgive, we can't be free. So
we
some of
can't be
us
free.
not free
There's no
because we
freedom.
haven't forgiven.
There's no freedom without forgiveness. I'm sorry. You just can't. There's no freedom without forgiveness. You have to go through that process of forgiveness. You have to forgive those who have hurt you. You have to forgive those who disappointed you, betrayed you. And we say this all the time. It's more so about them than it is about you. I remember the Lord had to check me one day. He said, "You know what your problem is? You think this is about you. And it has nothing to do with you. This is between me and them. You're just caught in the crossfire." And so we take how people treat us personally, which it is, it's you coming, and doing these things to me. But we got to understand that there's an operation behind that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got that now too. Now let's talk about it, because some of the stuff that we went through was an assignment. I believe
Exactly.
that everything that
Oh,
we
oh, oh, oh.
come on, have you considered my servant Job? I
Come
mean,
on.
some things we go through is an ordained assignment for God to get the glory out of
Yeah.
our lives. But then some stuff is decisions. And a lot of us are not only mad with people, but a lot of us are mad with God.
Oh, come on. Talk
Why
about that.
me? Why me, Lord? Why you took my child? Why you took my job? Why you took my house? Why? And so, because we cannot even forgive God, we don't worship freely, we don't pray
Mhm.
freely, we don't we can't even function in our freedom around people, and we're walking around, like you said, in prison clothes. Didn't you preach a message in prison clothes? What was that
I
message?
sure did. I sure did. I did.
You
That was
had on
me.
prison clothes, and you had, we walk around with chains on us. Come on, we
Shame.
walk around in bondage, and we can hear you clicking and clacking when you come in the room.
Yeah. I listen, one thing I can do is identify pain because I've been through so much of it in my life. I can see somebody, oh, they in pain. They are in pain. And you listen, I personally don't want to walk around in pain. I like I want to enjoy my life. I want to have an abundant life. And that's why this season it was so, hard to make certain decisions because it's like um I want to live abundantly, but I know that these things that I have here is not going to allow me to live the life that I want to live. Is not going to allow me to be happy the way I want to be happy. It's not going to allow me to enjoy life. And so some stuff had to go. Some people had to go. And so it's like I don't know who wants to walk around in pain all day or
Yeah.
every, you know, going through all this crazy stuff. And so you just have to, you know, you just have to come to terms with some stuff. You just have to accept some stuff for what it is. Your past, your present, you just have to accept some stuff, some people, some things for what it is, and allow God to show you sometimes why it was necessary.
Why it was necessary. friend, some stuff was necessary.
Some stuff was necessary.
It was
Like, listen,
necessary.
some stuff was necessary.
I
Because
could go,
if it had not happened, you would still be stuck.
come
You would still
on.
be there. You would still be, you know. So
And you
some
would
stuff
not
is
have
necessary.
identified your strength. You would not,
Come
because
on.
you don't know your own strength until you're faced with tragedy.
Come on.
You
Whitney
don't
said
know.
it best. I didn't know my own strength. Listen,
Well, she
didn't know her own strength. Next. Yeah, so
I'm not gonna say.
she didn't know her own strength because we don't know
We
our
don't know.
own strength.
That's right. That's right, Ruth. You learn.
Yes, you learn
what's
within
within
you.
you, and
Yeah.
it makes sense because that's the reason why he says in Romans, the sufferings of this present time shall not be compared to the glory that shall be what revealed. That means that it's something that has not appeared yet. So there's something inside of you that God is going to pull out of you through your tragedy, through your situation. But when you listen to me, let me tell you something. I have been in some situations, friend, where I was so bound.
Listen.
Oh, bound. Listen,
baby, bound.
Baby, when I say I was bound, I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep without it.
I
couldn't eat without. I've been bound. And I knew there were some situations that I was so bound to that I knew it wasn't good for me, friend. I knew I needed to be free, but I could not break free.
But and so when God do break you free, baby, listen.
You see, you took the word. You tried when I got my freedom. Let me tell y'all something. When you're on the other side of bondage, everything that you thought you couldn't live without looks nasty. It looks ugly. And so what the enemy does is tries to camouflage what's not good for us and make us feel like we can't live without it. But when you come on the other side, baby,
baby, listen. And then you look back and you be like David, it was good that I was afflicted. It was so good that I was afflicted. Thank you, Jesus. I never thought I would be able to say thank you for that affliction, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that affliction because the joy that you released after that, whoosha. Listen, I'm about to go in tongues.
This is what I said. There shall be glory after this. There shall be. Let me tell you something. I look back now and I say, God, please forgive me for trying to force your hand to keep me in certain situations.
What I wanted you to do.
When all the time I'm trying to hold on to this, and you had that
better for me.
And we're not just talking about relationship. We jobs. It could be anything.
It could be anything.
Right? There's a lot of things that we hold on to.
Yeah.
That keeps us in bondage.
Yeah.
And we can't be free. So we said freedom from your past.
Freedom from your past.
That's a big one.
Yes, it is. A lot of people are bound by their past.
In unforgiveness.
I remember I used to wear shame like a cloak. Because you're looking at the girl that got pregnant at 15, then got pregnant again had the baby at 16, then got pregnant again, had another baby at 17. So you're looking, shame was a cloak for me. Understand? And so for God to set me free from that, I walked with my head down because I had this cloak of shame. And I remember I was studying the other day and God said shame is the devil's clothing. Wardrobe. Shame is the devil's wardrobe. Mm-hmm. And so I know what shame looks like because I was stuck in shame for so many years. You know what I'm saying? And so it was because of what I thought of myself, because I felt like I had made so many bad decisions and affected my life so badly. And and you just have to accept those things that you did, like, and forgive yourself for what you did or for what you didn't do, because it was both. It was things that I did and it was things that I didn't do. And so you have to deal with that stuff. And there's some stuff that you can correct. You know, it's some stuff that I had to go back and say, okay, there are some things I had to make a list. There are some things that I can absolutely do nothing about.
Right.
I can't go back and have children at 25. I can't go back
or 35.
Or 35. I can't go back and
to do that anyways. That's crazy.
Right. But the things that I can go back, I can go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
I can go get that education. Mm-hmm. Like, so I made a list of the things that I had absolutely, I could not go back and change. I had to accept it for what it was. And then there was a list of things that, hey, you can go change that. You can go fulfill that. Yeah, it's 20 years later, but you still have the opportunity to go and change that. That doesn't have to be, there's things that we can change. And so you make a list of the things that you absolutely cannot change and accept it. And then you make a list of the things that you can go and change. There's some forgiveness you got to give out. There's some conversations you may need to have. Make a list.
Have those listen to me. Have those conversations.
Have those conversations.
Have them. Now, be God-led.
Be God-led, because everybody not ready for a conversation.
Right.
And you have to be okay with an apology that you never get. Sometimes you got to forgive an apology you never got. You just got to make it
never get yourself.
And may never get. And understand that everybody is not able to have those type of conversations. Everybody's not mature enough to hear, you did me wrong, you abused me, you like, it's especially with our like parents. Like, every parent is not able to hear you failed. And so we got to be able to have discernment and allow God to give us direction in how to deal with our past.
Wow. So we got to forgive in order to be free. I didn't even have that down, but I guess the Lord just wanted to put that in, because you can't be free with unforgiveness in your heart.
You cannot. I don't
he
care
even says that if you have an alt with someone, he said, put your gift down.
Put your gift down.
And I think a lot of times we try to continue to operate with unforgiveness, and that's what puts us in that place where we're not healed. Unforgiveness is not, you're not healed. When you're healed, baby, you can walk in the room with that Negro. I ain't gonna Negro, honey. Be in the same room, honey. How you doing? Hey, and I knew, because I'm pretty transparent on my show. When I went through my divorce, I was so angry. But you know who I was angry with, friend?
Yourself.
Myself. I wasn't even angry with the man. I was more angry with myself because I felt like I knew better. I felt like I didn't give the relationship time to show itself.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading something that went viral the other day, where this couple said that they were together for 24 days and then they got married on the 24th. Now listen, who are me? Who are me?
It worked for some people.
It does. There's some people love at first sight, right? But me.
And then you got to go back and say, I saw them red flags, but I thought they were Christmas lights.
But you know what I said? Oh, there's two things I said. One, I said, oh, well, we both say, what's the worst can happen? Right? That's the first thing I said.
Just because they saved don't mean they sane.
And then when I saw the red flags,
you thought it was Christmas lights.
They say something. You know what? I can't. Oh, like
you, friend. You're the old pretty Christmas lights.
I thought it was a whole circus going on, right? But because as women, we feel like we can fix people. I was like, nah, man, I got this. You know, it's just a red flag. You know, that's a big flag right there. Whoa. You know, and then so I had to forgive myself for making the decision that I made, right? And then I had to forgive the individual.
Yeah.
And it took time. It was a process.
Yeah.
But when I got free, it was and the thing is, freedom, you know, they say freedom as a sound, freedom as a look.
It, whew, listen, it definitely does.
It has a
Listen,
look. It has
it
a
definitely,
look.
it
And so
definitely
and
does.
so you no longer, I was no longer bound to, and I think, friend, we're gonna stay here for a few more minutes, because until we can release some people, we can't move forward.
Yeah.
It was not until I totally released that person that I was able to see what God really had for me. And I was so
Yes.
grateful that God still saw fit to give me what I needed in spite of me making bad decisions.
Mm. Because he's just so faithful.
And
He's so faithful. Like, I don't care what, like, if you submit your life to God, because I made some, some mistakes. I did some things that,
you
you know,
know,
you know, and I just love the fact that he's so faithful that even when I make a wrong decision, he can fix it. Like, he can make it like it never even affected you. He could just make it like so perfect. You know what I mean? Like, no matter, like at one time it was like, boy, raising 3 kids at such a young age was like a lot. But now at 41, all my kids grown.
I
Baby,
know.
listen.
And here I am over here with a kid in high school. That's this
But God keep
disgusting.
giving me kids though, so
Yeah. Come on, like all my friends'
my
kids
kids are
are in
grown now.
college. I can't even hang out. 'Cause all my friends' kids, all my friends got grandkids. Here I am, child. By the time I become a grandmama, child, that baby gonna be like, "That's my great grandmama, good shit." Oh,
Great grandma.
Lord, grandma can't even run with us in the park, child. She can't even
Listen.
run. Preferably the Lord, preserves me. But
Yeah.
that's good. So forgiveness is very key to freedom,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of times we cannot be free in our minds, free completely to be able to just move on. And it means that when I got free from the hurt, the pain, the disappointment, I was able to not only remove the scales of anger and bitterness from my eyes and be able to see clearer,
Yeah.
but also be in a position that somebody could see me. Because y'all don't
Mm.
know how y'all look when y'all bitter.
Oh.
How y'all sound? If I hear one more person say ain't no good men out there, and I told y'all to check the obituary, y'all don't want to listen to me. Follow me for more relationship tips. Anyways, anywho, so we need freedom from sin, freedom from our past. Another one that I came up with, friend, you're gonna like this one: freedom from fear. Fear
I
of
can identify with
failure,
that.
fear of rejection, fear
Fear
of
of success.
inadequacy.
Some people
I need
scared of
you to break
success.
it down. Fear of success.
Yes, fear of success. Like, what if this does go well? All this responsibility. I'm going to be well more known. I'm going to this. I'm going to that. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to, you know what I mean?
That's
So,
responsibility.
responsibility. Yeah.
Because
That
success comes with responsibility.
success comes with responsibility. It's a heavier crown to carry.
That's why a lot of
So,
people don't make it,
they want to stay low.
because now I am accountable to the success. I have to
Yes.
uphold. I was
Mhm.
telling somebody this yesterday because I gotta keep my head. I don't want to say I've created an image for myself, but because I am a business person, I am a professional. I don't desire for you to see me in Walmart looking like I lost my mind. So I've created a standard for myself. But think about Michael Jackson, think about celebrities. They can't go out. They got to be covered up. They can't even have a regular life because there's a
Yeah.
responsibility that comes with success.
Yeah.
And we're saying we want to be big, but are we ready?
For the weight.
I ain't big though, friend, but I will be one day in my
One
own way.
day.
I don't want to be walking around here putting hoodies over my face.
Me neither. Cause you're gonna get these socks and these leopard shoes and whatever, I like, you these sweatpants and this jacket and this, because I'm not dressing up to go to
The
the
day
concert.
that I go to Walmart like that is the day somebody gonna say, "Hey, Pastor Audra," and I'm gonna say,
I go all the time. I don't care. I'm gonna say, "Hey, girl."
you'll say that that's me being vain. I will say that's just
That's just the standards you set for yourself,
that's the standard I
which
set.
is great.
I am an administrator for a home health agency.
Praise God.
Come on, my picture is on. No, let me stop. I was gonna start prophesying. My picture is on billboards and
Oh,
whatever.
well,
Let me speak that
well,
into existence.
prophesy then.
But there was a time where I felt like I did have. See what people don't know about me. All right, y'all come close. Let me give y'all a little tea. You ready? What people don't know of me is the very first half of my life, I never took pictures. I can't find a picture. And if I do find one, girl, I heard you try to burn it up. I never took pictures. I never went anywhere. Like how y'all see, that's why I said stop judging people. You
Because you
see
don't
people
know.
taking pictures all the time and you thinking that they vain, they this. You don't know what they've been through. You don't. If I
Exactly.
show y'all some old pictures of what I used to look like, not
Y'all don't
saying
want
I
to
wasn't
see.
still beautiful, but I had no my self-esteem was extremely low. And so when I see people that post a lot, they're doing, I'll be like, go girl, because you don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Let's
Yeah.
not assume that a person is vain. Let's not assume that a person think they all of that. But you don't know. For years, I can't even find a picture of me through my pregnancy. I can't find a picture of me through high school. Well, I got them high school pictures. I will post them and make y'all laugh, but I'm not gonna do it. I was very, very heavy. I was over close to 300 pounds. I was
Mm.
very depressed. I was very unhappy. And so when you see what you see now, this is just God remaking me over and me
Mm.
being happy now about who I am in God
Yeah.
and accepting that it's okay with my flaws and all to be who God has called me to be. And so
Absolutely.
I think as women, we got let's not listen. When I see a woman doing that thing, it does something to my spirit. When I see them posting pictures of Fantasia doing her thing, I'm like, go girl.
That's my girl there.
I love to see successful, and I don't want to say I'm biased, but especially Black women doing their thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just does something
Especially
to
when they've been
me.
the underdog for so long.
Mm-hmm. 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 And so we need freedom from our fears, freedom from failure,
Freedom from failure.
freedom from failure. It can be
Freedom
paralyzed.
from not being good enough.
Good enough for who?
Anything, anybody, anything and anybody. Because some people don't feel good enough.
I
Some
think
people
some
don't
of
feel,
us need to be free from ourselves.
yeah. But you know, like I
Self-image that
said
we
earlier,
painted in our head that we think that we need to be.
yeah, we definitely need to be at peace with ourselves. Like you just got to be at peace with yourself. And you know, fear is one of those things that I have wrestled with in my life. I used to be a chronic warrior, like worry. I worry all the time about everything. Like, yes, it was really bad. Like I felt because I had faced so much disappointment. And
I struggle with that too, friend. I
yeah, I
think I
have faced
still
so
do.
much disappointment that I always were, what if this go wrong? What if this happened? What if this? What if this? What if this? What if this? What if you know? It drives you nuts. Like that's why I say I was half crazy because I worried all the time, and
Wow.
even after I got my surgery, like the enemy amplified everything. Like, oh, your kid's gonna die. Oh, this gonna happen. This person gonna die. You gonna die. Like, it was just so much. Like that whole situation traumatized me, and it
Mhm.
brought back. You know, it intensified because it was still fears that I was dealing with, and so I really have to force myself to overcome those fears of something bad is going to happen because I always felt like every time. It got to a point in my life where I didn't want anything good to happen because I felt like something bad was going to happen right behind it. Like I felt
Wow.
like I could not have a good moment. I felt like I couldn't have a blessed moment. I felt like every blessing came with something bad happening to me. And so that was the fear. Like I feared good things happening to me because bad things will always follow. Or
Wow.
or that spirit of disappointment. Like, okay, you happy now? Oh, something's gonna come to disappoint you. And so it was like being in a prison. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, because fear is very debilitating.
Torment.
It's very
Yeah,
paralyzing. And
torment.
when you have fear, especially when you have fear of failure,
Yeah.
you won't move out. God will give you an idea, or you'll get,
Oh,
something to move on, and fear will literally paralyze you.
paralyze you.
And then we
Story of
don't
my life.
and then we don't tend to connect ourselves with people who are pushers. And so then now, okay, well, oh, I don't know how you're gonna do that. But that's why we I hate to say it, because I feel like there's power in connection, not just as women, but as people. And I believe that God created us, like you said in the first show, for relationship. That's why I'm not one to be like, oh, I don't like people. I love people. I absolutely love people. And I heard somebody say this the other day, and it really, I think me and you talked about it a little bit, that being an introvert does not mean that you isolate, right?
Yeah.
And so I think some of us feel like, well, oh, we use that as an excuse. Yeah, we talked
Oh, yeah.
about that
Cover
today.
up.
We
Yeah.
use being an introvert as an excuse to not build relationships. And then we'll say, oh, well, nobody likes me, nobody loves me, nobody cares. But really, it's just the enemy trying to convince us to stay isolated, because the Bible says that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Isolation breeds insecurity. It breeds fear. It breeds you being in a constant state of. And I hear people say, "Well, I'm always in my word." Okay, I get that. But while you in isolation, Paul said that when I wanted to do right, evil was always present. So even though you read your word, evil is still right there present with you, telling you, be by yourself.
Be by
Nobody want to be
yourself.
around you.
You running after God. And people use God to cover up anything. But we got to understand that anytime we feel like we don't need anybody, that's demonic, because he made us for relationship. He said in Genesis that it is not good for man to be alone. It's not good for us to be alone. Therefore, I will give him a help meet. And he
Two
wasn't
is
just
better than what?
yeah, two is better than one. And so how can we say we don't need anyone when God made us for relationship? He made us for covenant. He made us for fellowship, right? Because we can't do anything without people. We can't discover our weaknesses, our strength without people, because being in a relationship with people really puts a mirror up to us what we need to work on.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
So we
And
need relationship.
I've learned that even who I am is a result of all the relationships that I've encountered. Whether
Yeah.
it be a parental relationship, whether it be friendships, business relationships, all of those relationships, all of those ships are designed to take us somewhere,
Somewhere, right? It's
right?
our
And so,
transportation
mhm.
to the
And so
next place.
fear of rejection,
Yeah.
that will definitely keep
That's a big
you
one.
bound.
Yeah, that's a big one. That fear of rejection is a big one. And it's very rejection, I have learned dealing with people with rejection, it causes like a bipolar in them. No, I'm being like, they be super bipolar. They be super like suspicious, and they be super paranoid, and it actually caused mental illness. And it was so crazy because I would see it in certain individuals, but then I found the book and it confirmed what I thought,
Mm.
that rejection is linked to mental situations, you know?
Really?
Really?
Let me go into my DSM-5.
Yeah, rejection, because it drives you nuts, because you're trying to figure out, why am I not good enough? You're trying to adjust yourself to adjust yourself to everything, every image, trying to be what's accepted.
Yeah, isn't there a syndrome called people pleasing syndrome?
I don't know, but
I
it
know
has
because
to
when
be.
we did our studies, I think that was the one I had to do.
Mm. It
I didn't
literally
know
like,
that though.
and I think that's where people pleasing come from, because you've been rejected. So now you're trying to form this identity around what people want. And that's where that chameleon spirit come from. Every environment that you're in, you're trying to adjust to that environment and become whoever you're in the midst of. And I've been in relationships with people like that, not just like romantically, but friendships. I've been in friendships and relationships with people, and I would notice that every time we're in a different environment, they're a different person. I'm like, wait a minute, who are you?
They trying to fit in.
They trying to fit in. And that's like, do you know how mentally unstable that is to try to be everything to everybody? And I was like, hold on, you crazy? Because how is like,
Well, Jesus said, "I became all things and all."
nah, not like that. But he was still no, that was Paul. He was still Paul, right? But baby, when you trying to be this in that room, you're trying to be like this in that room, like that's schizophrenic. You're gonna be schizophrenic. You're gonna be crazy. And
Schizophrenic in the spirit.
I actually had a client, and she dealt with that, and I was like, you don't feel crazy, like, and she was like, yeah, I'm always exhausted, because you're always trying to be all these things to different people, and you can't keep up. Oh, when I'm with this person, I gotta be like this. When I'm with this person, I gotta be like this, because you're trying to be accepted. And she was so exhausted.
But it goes back to identity. Because when I know who
Absolutely.
I am,
I
I
don't
don't
have
worry about, because listen, the only way I'm gonna fit in with this crowd is they gotta accept me for who I am.
who I
I'm
am.
gonna come in laughing. I'm gonna crack on some people.
I'm
Now
gonna
I
come in
have
laughing, and
learned,
I'm going to walk out laughing.
and I have learned that there are some things about my personality that I have had
Can be
to.
offensive, yes.
First of all, don't do that on my show.
Oh, okay.
I've gotten better, friend.
You have. You have.
I
You
have gotten,
definitely
because
have.
I have this thing where I just say what I think and I probably shouldn't.
And I'm sitting
So,
there like,
did you just tell that lady that?
and I'm kicking you under the table like, shut
Well,
up,
I've gotten
shut up.
better. I keep it right
But
here,
you're
y'all.
better. You're better.
I keep it right here. I don't let it come out. She's talking about my Lord. Ah, yeah, my Lord. I've gotten better. I have. I have. And
You
so, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of inadequacy,
Mm.
feeling like you're not enough, right?
Yeah.
And so, those are some things that we definitely need to be free from.
Freaking
Last,
yours.
our last point. Oh, we finna tie this up. Last one, freedom from opinions of others.
Mm.
This
You
is
know, a
where,
lot of time we make
wait,
so.
hold on, Fred, because you've been dominating tonight. I'm gonna talk.
Okay, okay.
Oh no, I'm just joking. No, because I love that, because you full of wisdom. No, but this is where I want to just bring you back to what you said, to that thought, and then you can go to the other thought where we talk about we have to feel like we gotta have the right bodies, we have to have the right look, we have, and you know this about me, I'm very weird. I have my own style, so I don't go with the trend. What trend? Who is the
No, I
trend?
don't.
I don't care. I'm gonna do what I like that fit for me for that moment for that time. I don't care about trends. But we feel like and I will say, I will admit, I have struggled with this, with worrying about other people's feelings and how people think. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had to definitely be free from that, because you may not know that you care, but your actions show that you
Show
care.
that you care. Yeah. Because we will make decisions for our life based on what other people are going to think. Well, I can't do that because they gonna think I ain't got no money, or they gonna think that this, or they gonna think that, or they gonna think da 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 da, and I don't want them to think da da da. But you know what that's rooted in though? That's rooted in pride. Because you care so much about other people, you want people to have this certain image of you. And you know me, I really don't care.
But I mean, I've gotten better because I think I understand that people are going to have an opinion with no matter what.
Regardless, people are going to feel the way they
And then,
feel.
let's break it down. People who I'll talk about me because I can't talk about them. When I started dating after being
Mhm.
divorced, I waited for like 3 years before I started dating. We waited literally before we went out on social media, not because I was worried about what people were going to say, but because sometimes people will come out with a relationship and stay in it, even if it goes bad, just because they're worried about what people are going to say.
Man, I wouldn't. Yeah, so yeah.
So
Tell
it's
what you want to say.
now you're held
Free.
bound to what you release on social media.
Yeah.
And there's an anxiety. Okay, there's an anxiety that comes with that. Let's just say it's right before the wedding, we went through some little argument. It wasn't big, it was little. And what y'all don't know about me, I don't say the gift of goodbye, but I will break up with you. I'll break up with you quick. But that anxiety, I could feel that anxiety. Oh, what are people gonna think? What are people gonna say? You failed again. You whoop the whoop the whoop. But there's a side of me now at this age, I wouldn't care. Honey, delete, block,
Cancel. Yeah.
put a big X on that picture. Wedding canceled.
Listen,
Void.
it takes time and experience to get to that place of freedom.
Right.
And that's knowing goes back to knowing who you are, your identity, and being secure in who you are. And of course, even being secure, sometimes you think like, dang, like, well, I didn't put this certain thing out there, and I know people gonna be talking, and I'm not ready for all the backlash that I'm gonna get. But at 41, I changed my mind.
Period.
I can change my mind.
You can.
I have the right to change my mind.
That's why I
I
think
don't
social media can be so good and it can be so
feel
bad.
bad. Yeah, I have the right to change my mind. I'm grown. And I said it was good yesterday, but I don't like it today.
And see me, I'm quick, and you just know, and I'm a little, all your pictures be gone tomorrow, but I may not come out and post it and say it's over because some people feel that's another way you're held bound to what people think because you feel like you got to make a statement. Let me come on
You
live.
gotta announce
Come
everything.
and make no
Man,
statement to
I
me.
don't care what you think. I don't care what you know. I don't care what you figured out. It
I'm
is what it
releasing a
is.
statement.
I don't owe you no
I'm,
explanation. I
I'm
don't owe Facebook an explanation. I don't owe Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I don't owe anybody an explanation about a decision I made in my life that affects me.
gonna delete your pictures though. I'm gonna leave the people
Listen,
scratch their head to my something.
something off. Don't be on my page trying to figure out what's going on.
And then look, they gonna go through all your pictures. I knew something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
I know because I did it.
You're so nosy.
And I be on the other end talking about, you know what now, y'all at least owe some of us an explanation because you went
It
from
don't. It don't. Baby, don't look for one for me.
that's that one side of me. I be like, come on
Don't
now.
look for no explanation for me because I don't owe you one.
I don't. And
I don't owe you one.
we have to understand that. And I think a lot of us will stay in relationships. We will stay in marriages. We will stay on jobs. Oh yeah, you just posted. Our kids said they eat don't make us what they eat don't make us. Whew, Lord,
Right.
what they what they eat don't make. You will feel now. I do feel like if you now I will say this. Let me give this disclaimer. If you are a person of influence, If you are a person that people look up to, that they follow, and you have thousands, there is like we said before, there's a responsibility that comes with success. Now, that's why you I don't even know how to answer that. You just talk to your PR people, whatever they tell you to do. Don't ask me to do it.
No, don't ask me because
But
I'm
people
girl,
don't
forget
care.
them people. You know, I tell you, girl, forget them people.
They don't care. They just want the next tea. They want the next story. They want the next ooh girl. You know, they don't really care. Like, are you praying for that person? You know? But for me at this stage in my life, friend, I'm not gonna get married just because Facebook seen me with somebody. Baby, no.
I changed my mind.
I, it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. I changed my mind.
That's what dating is doing, right? The pastor says getting data. I got to
I
the
don't
data.
care if I posted that person for 6 months. If you don't see him no more, I changed my mind.
That was a data breach.
Like, girl, mind your business. Mind your business.
But I do think that is one of the reasons why we worry. We worry about how people are going to feel, how people are going to view us. Do we need to live a life that's upright before people? Absolutely, because I feel like we're the Bible that a lot of people are never going to read.
Yeah, and this is why we got to be careful what we put out there. And that's the thing. You got to be careful what you put out there. You know, because there is an accountability, right? An accountability when you're over people or when you have a certain influence over people. You definitely want to be responsible, right? But you shouldn't feel like you have to live your life based on the opinions of people or make a decision or not make a decision because of what people are going to think. And that's why you be careful about what you put out there. Not that it's secrecy, right? But I am covering my life. I'm being careful what I put out there because I want to uphold a certain standard.
Right.
So I ain't got to go back and do damage control. But, but if I, like I said, if I post somebody for 6 months and then I don't know more, I don't, that's my, I mean, you know me. Okay.
I think again, and I say this all the time, we are marketers for Christ, right?
Right.
And a lot of times we market Christ, but we then don't deliver the product that we say we market, or we really don't believe in the product that we say we market. And as believers, we know that you just keep living. Life is going to be lifing. Life is going to be lifing, but you don't make decisions that is based upon the opinion of others. If the Lord tells you, no, nada, it's over, you do what God says. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that I'm concerned about is God's. I want to hear him say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. And on top of that, his ways are better than mine. He knows what's best for me. And so if God said, that settles it. It's over with. And so we have to be free from the opinions of others.
Yeah. Live your life authentically the way God designed you to live your life. Be okay with who God has made you to be. You don't have to, drive yourself crazy about what other people are going to think about the decisions that you make for your life, because at the end of the day, you are the person that's going to have to live with those decisions. You and your household are going to have to live with the decisions that you make. And so make those decisions based on that, not on people that don't have to deal with, because when you make certain, like, they're not going to be there with you. They can have an opinion.
Someone ain't even gonna give you a thumbs up.
They're not going to have to live through the consequences. So make sure when you're making decisions that you are okay with the decision that's being made and how it's going to affect your life. Not what people are going to think, but how is it going to affect your life?
Exactly. I had this earlier today, and I wanted to read it. It says, if more women truly live free from the opinions of others, we would have less comparison and more collaboration,
My
less
Lord.
competition and more camaraderie, less contention and more celebration of each other. We would literally lift each other's up and not try to be like, oh, I don't know why she called her conference pancakes and praise. Well, that's what the Lord gave her. Get your pancakes and praise on. You know, and now you here over here, you collaborating, trying to make it bigger and better. You gonna call yours waffles and worship. What are we doing here? Why are we doing this?
I can't. You're just silly. I can't. Why?
That was funny. I was trying to be serious, but it was really funny.
Like what? What? Now you waffles and worship.
I was really trying to be serious, but that was so funny to think. Oh, okay.
But that sounds like a good little event, friend. We need to do some waffles and worship.
Pancakes and praise.
Pancakes and praise. Listen.
Oh God. Okay.
All right.
Somebody gonna do it. I'm telling you, somebody gonna do it. But no, instead of us competing with each other, like
collaborate.
Okay, like let's be honest. You have your own ministry, your own show, your own. You have a show called what's it? Coach Keisha.
I don't have the show yet.
No, but the show you had before.
Oh, Mind Shift Mondays.
Mind Shift Mondays, right? If I was, it was at a not so good time, but the time that you're on, I'm gonna come on, I'm gonna push some support, right? And then I got dialogue with a doctor. We have our own things, our own thing, but when we come together and collaborate, we can make something happen, right? I can't. I ain't gonna say I can't, but I don't want to. I don't want to do flyers without talking to my friends. I believe that there's power in connection.
Yeah.
There's power in collaboration.
And it's funny because I had somebody to say, you and Dr. Audrey are so awesome together. Like, I really enjoyed y'all. I did not know Dr. Audrey was so funny. I'm like, girl, what you think? We sit around and pray all day, honey. We be laughing, honey.
But when we need to pray.
But when we pray,
we gonna pull. Oh, we'll tell you demon in a minute, honey.
Listen. Like, y'all really need a podcast because y'all are good together. Y'all just mix. And so, that's why fellowship, covenant, friendship is important because you pour, iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to find that iron, and y'all able to do it without competition and all this other crazy stuff,
And making, I would say, like, there are certain things that just comes with one ingredient. But there's no way you could bake a cake without combining the ingredients that are needed to make it what it is. And there are things that, come on. I'm not the happiest baby mama in the world. But I knew that there were two of us that had to come together to create what it is that I have to raise that, wonderful child about. And so there's power in connection. There's power in collaboration. And when we celebrate each other and we can look to each other and say, all right, girl, I'm going to push you. How many of us on here are pushers? That we can push another person's vision. That we can sow into another person's gift. Right? Like you say, hey, can't make the conference. I might not be there for the waffles of worship, but I'm going to send my $10 offering. How often do we celebrate our sisters? How often are we pushing their vision, pushing what it is that God called them to do, to be successful? I said this in the first show. It don't cost you a dime to like the page. It don't cost me a dime. It don't cost me nothing. It don't cost my page to be convoluted. It don't cost nothing for me to like your show or to stay on for 5 minutes or to hear what God is saying. It doesn't cost us anything, but because we're not free, we're not totally free. We're afraid. People will celebrate you until you become bigger than them.
Yep, it's the truth.
They love to celebrate your small. But when you start blowing up, ooh, who she thinks she is? The same person.
The same person.
So,
Yeah.
guys, if we had to sum this up tonight, I think it was very, very needful. Like we said, if you want to go back and look at the first one, freedom from bondage. I'm sorry, set boundaries. That
Set,
was, listen, that blessed my life.
set boundaries is freedom from bondage.
My brother is on here. Hi, brother. Hey, Anthony. Y'all see that? That's my brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. You would come in when I'm getting ready to go out. So that means that you need to go back and watch the replay. I say, oh, yeah. Did y'all know this about Dr. Aja? I am a spoiled brat, right? I have
Yes.
4 of the most amazing brothers in the entire world. Okay. And I have a great dad. So I am so spoiled. I'm a brat. So when people call me a brat, look at this. You can talk about, hey, brother. When people call me a brat, it's their fault. So that's his name, Amp Brown. Follow him for more Make Your Sister a Brat tips.
I can't. I've always wanted a brother. I don't got no brothers. I don't have no brothers.
Well, I'm not gonna share, but
Okay.
I can definitely recommend some people to you.
That's all right. I got some. The Lord gave me some brothers.
Yeah, listen. When it comes to my brothers, honey, all I gotta do is doop doop doop. I don't even got to get where need all the way out. Where you at? What you need? Yeah.
Baby, I need me a brother.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I love my brothers. I love my brothers. Okay. So anyway, we're closing this out. We had so much fun tonight. That pancakes took me out of here for you. It really did.
The waffles and worship for me.
Waffles and worship. But listen, guys, freedom comes when you're free from sin, free from your past, free from your fears, and free from what other people think of you. And we cannot embrace our healed place and not embrace our free place. We want to remain free. We want to be healed and we want to set boundaries. We're coming into 2024 ready, right? To be healthy, whole, healed, and do what God called us to do. Because we're better when we're whole. Nothing broken. What I want to say.
Yeah, we going in.
Yeah, we're going into 2024. Look, this is the 20. We're going into 2024 whole, right? And we're going to collaborate. We're going to connect. We're going to support our sisters. We're going to show up to some events. We're going to be supportive to one another. And we're going to see people blow up, right? And I don't just support people who support me. I support everybody that needs support. But I've learned over these years that support normally comes from strangers.
Yep.
And I'm not going to elaborate in that because it will be on here another time.
That is very true.
It's support, the most support. And why is it like that's not even fair? Okay, I ain't going to say nothing else. But next week we're going to wrap it. Is her favorite. Y'all see where tagline say the deliverance. Next week, we're going to be talking about deliverance because I feel the way that God has given us this to add up, set boundaries, get healed, get free. Now you can walk in your deliverance. And we're going to talk about what deliverance looks like.
Yeah.
Not that, yeah, some people think it's that foaming at the mouth. Oh, friend, I'm so ready. Listen, if y'all don't be on here next week, something wrong. Because we're going to give y'all some true define. Both of us operate in the gift of deliverance, right? We both came up in deliverance churches. And deliverance, I'm going to leave y'all with this, is not you foaming at the mouth.
Well, I didn't come up in a deliverance church.
I did.
The
Oh
good Jesus.
listen, the mantle of deliverance came on me from the prophetess Chiquita Jones herself. Amen. And so I came up where I seen some things, but we're gonna really talk about it next week. So join us next week, same place, same time, Thursday, 8 o'clock. We're gonna be back and we're gonna talk about deliverance. We're gonna talk about what it looks like,
What
um,
it is.
what it
What it
is,
really is.
and she's going to bring her book that she wrote and she's going to present it to you guys. I don't know if she has copies, but we're going to definitely let you guys get that book. But deliverance is a process, right? And so we're going to talk to you guys about that next week. I'm excited. And then I'll be telling you guys some of the things that we do have going for 2024. I'm glad your friend said about podcasts because I am looking forward to starting a podcast, right? Because I like to talk.
Yes, you do.
I believe I have the gift to dialogue.
Come on, dialogue with the doctor.
Brother, I'm home. I'm safe. I'm in my house. You see, I'm home. I'm safe, brother. I love you. What I just said? Something crazy.
You're anointed to talk.
I'm anointed to talk. Anyways, we're gonna be back next week. We love you guys. Thank you for your support. Share the live. Share. Thank you to our new YouTube watchers, Facebook, and those that are on Instagram. We love you guys. We appreciate you. And we'll be back on next week, Thursday. Mark your calendars. Have a Merry
Christmas. Yes. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
If they say Happy New Year, then we ain't gonna see them till after. So have y'all done all your shopping?
You know I don't.
Okay. So we didn't even come on here with no tips for a good gift for your man and a good gift for your child. We should have had Christmas tips.
Girl.
We'll be back next week. Love you guys. Goodbye.
Out, y'all.